Welcome, the hour being 7 p.m. on Wednesday, August 21st, 2024. The Tooele City Council is meeting in a business meeting. This meeting is being held at the Tooele City Hall Council Chambers located at 90 North Main Street in Tooele, Utah. This is also being streamed electronically on the Tooele City YouTube channel. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you'll please rise and repeat after me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Our second item is a roll call. Councilwoman Manzione.
Present.
Councilwoman Goches.
Present.
Councilman Hanson.
Present.
Councilman McCall.
Present.
I'm Councilman Brady. I'm also present. Our third item is a public comment period. This is the time for the public to address the council. We ask that you state your name into the mic, keep your comments to 3 minutes or less, and then you sign the paper over by Michelle. The time is now the public's. Yeah, you have 3 minutes, so whatever you want to talk about.
I want to talk about that housing development. that's
Just
coming
state your name into the mic first.
up. Paul Medina,
Thank you. Okay.
the housing development that's they're wanting to do on Druby Road. I don't know where we're going to get the water. I don't know where, are they going to build more schools? Where's the exit going to be? Is there going to be only one road from Druby? Are they going to come out through Erickson or Blue Peak? Why are they taking all our rural land and just trying to twist it around for their convenience, you know? So they could be more millionaires? I don't know. That's what I want to find out, you know? Are they going to build more churches, more schools? Are they going to try to shove that in that little corner? That's my concern.
Okay, thank you. And then just sign Paul, just sign this paper over by Michelle.
Hi, my name is Lenora Anglada, and I just basically wanted to come here because I just feel like people are just squeezing in a lot of people out here in Tooele, and if there's anybody like that listens to the alarm that goes on at 4 o'clock Wednesday afternoon that says, hey, this is just a test. So what happens when it is not a test? And you guys just keep on bringing people in, you know, cramming us in like sardines. We got one way in, one way out, you know, through 201 or maybe, you know, Stockton. You know, if something really bad, and it's not a matter of, it's a matter of when it's going to happen. You know, I mean, there's catastrophes going all over in California. If we get a bad fire or, God forbid, you know, another earthquake, you know, what's going to happen? You know, I mean, you keep on bringing in all these people and cramming us all in and, you know, let alone the water and the elderly people and raising their taxes and people that don't even have children and raising their taxes, you know, it's just, it's not a good thing. And it's just a catastrophe waiting to happen. And I've lived here all my life. I grew up here, went to kindergarten, you know, high school, the whole thing, you know, and it's just gotten really bad. And I don't know, you guys keep bringing in people, or I'm not just saying you individually, but I mean, somebody's got to do something. I mean, there should be a cap of how many people can actually live here. I mean, my goodness, I mean, you wonder about road rage? You wonder why people have road rage, because this is just a bedroom community to where people just go to work. This is Salt Lake, you know, to Layton, to Ogden, or whatever. You know? I mean, come on, man. It's like, this is getting bad. And somebody, and animals, you know, I have I have a deer and 2 fawns living in my backyard. I mean, they don't live there 24/7, but they come in and out, you know. They have no water, you know. I mean, it's just getting bad. And, you know, somebody's got to do something about it. You know, I've been in the military for 7 freaking years, you know. Came out here, retired, and want to live here. But my goodness, who wants to come and live at a place like this when you guys are just cramming? I mean, I'm not saying you, but I mean, there's got to be some kind of regulations already. It's getting to be too much, you know? I mean, please, if anybody, hear me out. This is getting bad. I mean, my mother lives in her house. She's been there since the 60s. You know, thank God she still has a house, but come in, afford a house, and everybody's just building what their townhouses, their apartments, their, you know, because no one can afford a house. But that doesn't mean you have to cram everybody in like sardines. I mean, my goodness. God, please, I mean, let's not make this a bad place to live. I mean, it's going to get bad. You don't want it to be like California when everybody's trying to leave and everybody's on fire, dying in their cars because they can't get out of here. Is that what you want it to be? And that's all I got to say, I guess.
All right, if you'll just sign the paper over by Michelle. Okay, I don't see anyone else coming up from the public, so I will close the public comment period. We'll move on to item 4, which is ordinance 2024-21, an ordinance of the Tooele City Council approving the annexation petition of Howard Schmidt, annexing 61.16 acres of land into the Tooele City corporate limit and assigning the R1-8 residential zoning district to the annexed property. This is presented by Andrew Agard, the Community Development Director.
Thank you, Council. I know you're all very familiar with the particulars of this annexation petition by Mr. Schmidt. For public record, I'll just go ahead and do a brief presentation on what's being requested. The annexation involves the 61.6 acres of property located east of Drew Bay Road, south of 850 North. The property is highlighted in red on the aerial photograph. This is the annexation policy plan. This is the document that authorizes the City Council to consider annexing a property. It is Area B on the annexation policy plan highlighted in red. This is the annexation plat that is provided by the applicant. This is the legal document that delineates the lot. I did provide the annexation plat Mylar to Chairman Brady, so he has that. This is the concept plan that was provided by the applicant. Again, this is a concept plan, but this is the applicant's intention for the property. Single-family residential. The zoning that is being requested for this property is the R18 zoning. The City Council will assign the zoning district to the property with the ordinance. And this is how the zoning map would appear if the annexation is approved. And then I neglected to include in the ordinance the land use map designation. So it would obviously need to be MDR, medium density residential. If you could consider that in your motion, if you're inclined to do so. And then the City Council had a public hearing on this item at their last meeting, and well, 2 meetings ago, I believe. And the Planning Commission also recommended in favor of this annexation a couple meetings ago as well. So that's the annexation petition. You have all the studies and that have been provided by the applicant, and the ordinance is here for your decision. So if you have any questions, happy to answer them for you.
Okay, any questions or comments? I just want to explain why I think this is a good thing for Tooele City. So I've supported this annexation request or petition. I think we have a housing crisis in the state of Utah. It's not just our community in general. Additional housing does bring problems, and we've tried to mitigate that by requesting certain things from this petitioner. Parks, a donation to parks, and then also to public safety. Also a trail that will benefit the community. I still think Tooele City is missing that, I don't want to call it the middle housing because that means something different when you're in government. So I think we're missing those move-up houses, the people who want to live in a little bit bigger house, maybe they have a bigger family, whatever it is. And I completely understand not everyone can afford that right now. But I think we are missing that in our community, and I think this is the perfect location for a project like that. And I've tried to make sure that this becomes that project. We've capped it at 172 units. Some lots will be a little bit bigger. And then we put stipulations that the houses have to be certain sizes to try to make that happen. So I support this. I think it will be beneficial for Tooele and the residents. Okay, any other comments? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 2024-21, an ordinance of the Tooele City Council approving the annexation petition of Howard Schmidt, annexing 61.16 acres of land into the Tooele City corporate limit and assigning the R18 residential zoning district to the annexed property, and also to include the land use of medium-density residential. Is that sufficient, Andrew? Thank you.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion from Councilwoman Goches, a second from Councilman Hanson. We'll take it to a vote. Councilwoman Manzione?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilman McCall?
Nay.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I vote aye. That passes 4-1. Our next item is Resolution 2024-60, a resolution of the Tooele City Council approving the Canyon Springs Annexation Agreement. This is presented by Roger Baker, the city attorney.
Thank you, Council. This annexation agreement contains many of the provisions that Chairman Brady just mentioned to help make sure that the annexation does have benefits for the city and for the public. This agreement covers things like the water improvements and the sewer improvements, storm drain improvements, and others that will need to be made as part of the development, and those are all specified as exhibits to the agreement. It talks about contributions, a $250,000 contribution to public safety, and another to parks, which we have talked about being used for a safer crossing across Drew Bay Road to get to England Acres. It doesn't have to be used for that, but that's one of the ideas on the table. And you mentioned the trail component, Chairman. There will be a paved trail on county-owned property just to the south of this. It does have minimum lot sizes and minimum house sizes, minimum garage sizes, design standards for the single-family homes so that they exceed the minimum required by state law. And those are the main terms of the annexation agreement. It's been discussed on many occasions with you, and I'll present it to you for your discussion and vote.
Okay, this was discussed in our work meeting. Is there any additional discussion or questions? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve Resolution 2024-60, a resolution of the Tooele City Council approving the Canyon Springs Annexation Agreement.
I'll second that.
We have a motion from Councilwoman Manzione, a second from Councilman Hanson. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman McCall?
Nay.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilwoman Manzione?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I vote aye. That passes 4-1. Item 6 is ordinance 2024-22, an ordinance of Tooele City enacting civil penalties for violations of Tooele City Code Title V Business Regulation, presented by Roger Baker, the city attorney.
Thank you. This ordinance and the one to follow, 23, are companion ordinances that address different areas of the city code with the same issue. Historically and traditionally, many of the city code provisions have been enforced by the police department, by law enforcement. With the passage of time, the trend has been away from enforcing things like weeds in cars and trash piles and other things like that with law enforcement officers and law enforcement uniforms and force, tending away from that so that law enforcement can focus their efforts on what we might call truer crimes of crimes against persons and property, and have shifted from criminal penalties like jail time and fines to civil penalties, which would not have any criminal record or incarceration, but simply a city fine that the city would collect, not through the court, but through collections. We think this is good for Tooele City. We have a police department that is already, they're doing a wonderful job, but they are stretched, and it is a challenge for all Utah municipalities to staff their police departments. There's simply more demand than the job market is supplying at the present moment. We have great officers. I'm very proud of the work that they do and enjoy working closely with Chief Day. This ordinance and the next will help to focus those resources where the mayor and the chief think they ought to be. And for both business license violations in this ordinance and land use and zoning violations in the ordinance 23. The ordinance provisions in all of Title V will be similar. They all refer back to a single ordinance that has the penalty provision. In the next ordinance, each chapter has its own penalty and appeals provisions. There's no one right way to go. The way I opted to go in recommending these to you is to amend the code as little as possible to accomplish the objective, which tends to be my approach. So that's why you have them in this form. Can I help answer any questions?
Any questions or comments?
We did talk about this at our last
Yeah,
meeting,
we've
too.
discussed this. Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve ordinance 2024-22, an ordinance of the Tooele City enacting civil penalties for violation of Tooele City Code Title V, which is business regulations.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilman Hanson, a second from Councilman McCall. We'll take it to a vote. Councilwoman Manzione?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilman McCall?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I vote aye. That passes 5-0. Item 7 is ordinance 2024-23, an ordinance of Tooele City enacting civil penalties for violations of Tooele City Code Title VII zoning, presented by Roger Baker, the city attorney.
Thank you. I have no additional presentation for this ordinance that is a companion to the one you just passed. So your discussion and vote would be in order unless you have any other questions.
Okay, any other discussion? I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion we approve ordinance 2024-23, an ordinance of the Tooele City enacting civil penalties for violations of Tooele City Code Title VII for zoning.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Councilman Hanson, a second from Councilwoman Manzione. We'll take it to a vote. Councilwoman Manzione?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilman McCall?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I vote aye. That passes 5-0. Item 8 is Resolution 2024-66, a resolution of the Tooele City Council approving an agreement with Broken Arrow for change orders number 2 and number 3 to the 2024 Newtown Sewer and Manhole Replacement Project, presented by Jamie Grandpré, the Public Works Director.
Good evening, council. This is a resolution for some change orders for our Newtown sewer project that has now been completed. We ran into some issues for slip lining, which caused us to go over the contingency amount. We had 3 change orders total. We have change order number 2 and number 3 to you tonight. Number 1, we was able to do with the contingency. It was $7,960.20. We only had $30,000 in contingency, and we have another $62,000 in change orders. We ran into some unforeseen conditions with some manholes that our slip lining company couldn't get into, and so we had to go replace the manholes and about a 20-foot section of sewer main that was really bad, that couldn't be slipped. So what happens when you're doing a project like that, a lot of it's above ground and you're slip lining, and then you come into problems, and we had to have Broken Arrow come back and fix some of those problems. We also ran into, with change order number 3, ran into a connection that was bad that we needed to fix as the homeowners was getting backups in their basement. So we had to go fix that. It was a broken connection to the pipe. So very old sewer. It is now fairly new sewer with the new slip line project and new connections. So it's a good project to get out of the way, but we just have these couple of change orders we need to get finalized. So I can answer any questions.
All right, any questions or comments?
It's good to do that stuff while you're there, otherwise you'd be digging it back up and starting over.
Yeah, exactly.
It costs a lot more.
It costs a lot more, so.
I'd just like to make a comment, if I could, is that historically, we want to preserve this historical part of town, and I want to recognize that our Economic Development Director, Jared Stewart, applied for a grant for these improvements, and he went door to door, knocking on residents' doors to notify them of the change and to garner their support. And I just think that he should be given credit for this project that's going to benefit a lot of people, and that we're very pleased with this. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2024-66, a resolution of the Tooele City Council approving an agreement with Broken Arrow for change orders number 2 and number 3 to the 2024 Newtown Sewer and Manhole Replacement Project.
I'll second it.
We have a motion from Councilwoman Goches, a second from Councilman Hanson. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman McCall?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilwoman Manzione?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I vote aye. That passes 5-0. Thanks, Jamie. Item 9 is Resolution 2024-67, a resolution of the Tooele City Council approving an agreement with Organic Sediment Removal Systems, LLC, for the removal of sediment from Ochre Hills Golf Course ponds and pumping and irrigation facilities, presented by Darwin Cook, the Parks and Recreation Director.
As always, save the best for last. Thank you. So council, back in 2002, 2003, the city built the back 9 of the golf course. At that time, they installed some irrigation ponds, storage ponds where we hold water, and then our irrigation system is actually designed to pump from that water. It collects both water from our actual culinary system, but then also from the runoff from our Middle Canyon water shares. In the process of that, depending on the year and the way that how fast the water's coming down the canyon, it generates quite a bit of sediment. So this is a project that's actually been funded for 2 years now. However, it's a very specific niche in the industry because our ponds aren't considered reservoirs or anything, and so it's a very small area. The ponds are lined, and so it's also a very particular type of process to do it without damaging the liner. So we reached out to this company, and they do it for golf courses all over the country, and finally got on their schedule to do it and they only do it when the water's 60 degrees and above, because it's actually divers that go down with vacuums and actually vacuum all the sediment. It separates it out. And the good thing is they actually part of the cost of this project is they actually provide a holding container that we get to keep all that sediment, and then the golf course will use that in their landscaping improvement areas. So resolution 2024-67 is this contract with Organic Sediment Removal System. This is part of our general fund budget, and it's for $40,850, and they will come and remove all that sediment. This will increase the capacity of the pond for storage, and this is the first time that we've actually done this dredging. So about 15 to 20 years is a normal time frame for a pond that's our size. So Any questions?
So Darwin, you're saying we won't need to do this again for 20 more years?
15 to 20. It depends. It's a couple years ago when we got some water coming down there really fast, the water was really, really dirty. And so that it all just depends. If it comes down slow and steady, we don't get as much sediment. But when it comes down fast, it does. So a lot of it just depends on our water years. So
we'll hope for slow and steady.
yeah, slow and steady is best. I'll admit, the last 2 years we've had some really good water years. So
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve Resolution 2024-67, a resolution of Tooele City Council approving an agreement with Organic Sediment Removal Systems, LLC, for the removal of sediment from Oka Hills Golf Course ponds and pumping and irrigation facilities.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Councilman McCall and a second from Councilwoman Manzione. We'll take it to a vote. Councilwoman Manzione?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilman McCall?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I vote aye. Passes 5-0. Item 10 is Resolution 2024-68, a resolution of the Tooele City Council approving an agreement with Musco Sports Lighting LLC for the installation of lighting for the Extreme Ninja Course and basketball court at England Acres Park, presented by Darwin Cook.
great, thanks. So this is a continuation of this Phase 3 of our England Acres project to complete that park. And as I mentioned in the last time when I brought a couple resolutions to you, I was going to continue to bring the layouts of the site plan so that as they're updated, you can see what the final design will be. So this part finalizes, so that little trail that kind of cuts through the park over to the corner of 1000 North and 7th Street. Everything on the east side of that is pretty much the way it's going to appear in that aerial view of that layout. The basketball court's the part that's shaded, and then just a little above that little part, that little square rectangle, I guess, is going to be the Extreme Ninja Course. The lights will be, the 2 pole lights from Musco Lighting will be on that northwest corner of the basketball court and then on the southeast corner. And that pole that's on the northwest will light both the basketball court and the Ninja Course. So Musco Lighting is a state contractor. We've used them almost all of our lights at all of our ball fields, and also the pickleball court are actual Musco Lighting. One of the reasons we do like Musco Lighting is because they are a state contractor, but they also provide a unique interface that allows us remote control of the lights and sends us information that we can, most of the time know that there's a problem even before we even have to go to the site. It's been very helpful at the pickleball courts to resolve lighting issues when the lights haven't come on, even through our phones for that matter. Fixing schedules and whatever have you. So we've chosen them to provide us with this. Resolution 2024-68 is to enter into contract with Musco Lighting for the amount of $93,831 to install the lights and also to put them into our system, so that the same with our other lights that we have in the system. And this is actually a park impact fee project. So as developers build, they pay a park impact fee, which is going to the England Acres Phase 3 project. So, and any questions?
I have a question, if that's okay. Darwin, I just wondered, are any of these lights going to be left on continuously? Will the basketball court be on a timer?
So that's the other fantastic thing with this system is that it will be a timer. So we set it currently to the estimated sunrise and sunset of our area. It automatically adjusts the time as the seasons progress, and it usually has a 1 hour time limit. So when you push the button, they kick on for an hour, and then it gives a flash for I think it's 3 minutes before they turn off. It starts flashing, letting the user know that the light's going to turn off. And we actually set the timer, or we set the schedule to the lights to the hours of our park, so from 6 to 11. And then obviously they're incapable of working during daylight hours.
That's great.
What is
Thank
going
you.
to be west of the Extreme Ninja course? I know that has nothing to do with lighting, but
So we want to do an urban orchard, but we are definitely going to do an urban forest. We visited a few parks all the way up to Rexburg where they have put in some urban forests that obviously there's some maturity time, but they are fantastic. Just repose areas to just go and sit and relax. We'll have a good walking path around this. Our other grass area that doesn't show up on this yet is to the southeast on the other side of the ditch. So that other piece that's there, we're designing that right now to be able to handle a mid-sized field, multi-use field. So there will be grass in some of these spaces around the parking lot and around the basketball court, but in that corner there, we're going to try to avoid any sort of turf that is going to require a lot of water. So,
great, thank you. Any other questions or comments?
It's good to see it all coming together.
yes.
Lights cost lots of money.
And fortunately, you already approved that budget, so. Thank you, by the way. And thank you for allowing us to do all these wonderful things. I'm a firm believer of diversity of activities, of being able to do multiple things, and I think a lighted basketball court's been needed. I know there's a lot of pickup games with adults going on. We have one at Copper Canyon, a basketball court, and in the evenings there's a group of older men. Older is probably wrong, but aged men, let's put it that way, that get together and play pickup games over there all the time. And we'd love to just have a place for teenagers to go and get rid of some of that energy and to, use it for good and to have a place to go and expel it. So,
It's a good thing.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve Resolution 2024-68, approving an agreement with Musco Sports Lighting LLC for the installation of lighting for the Extreme Ninja course and basketball court at England Acres Park.
And
I'll
I'll
second.
second.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, you beat me, Dave.
Okay, we have a motion from Councilwoman Manzione and a second from Councilman McCall. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman McCall?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilwoman Manzione?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I vote aye. That
Thank you,
passes
Council.
5-0. Thanks, Darwin. Item 11 is invoices and purchase orders presented by Michelle Pitt, the city recorder.
Can you go ahead and just close the meeting because we don't want to pay no more bills.
Spent all the money.
We are going to spend some money.
That's right.
All of the invoices that I'm bringing you tonight are either for vehicles or equipment, and they have been approved in the departmental budgets. But we're bringing them to you because of the amounts. So the first one is to Ken Garth Ford. It's a Ford Ranger for the community development, and it's $42,920. And also Ken Garth, this is for 2022 Ford 250, and this is for Public Works, $70,303. Larry H. Miller, it's for a 2024 Ford 250, also for Public Works, $63,078.66. And then this is to Vermeer, and it's for wood chipper for Public Works, $53,845.90. And all of these vendors are on state contract as well. That's it.
Any questions or comments? Does Public Works have to have an F-250, or is there a different vehicle, I guess is the question? Okay. 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 Okay, thank you. All right, If there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion, we pay the invoices.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion from Councilman McCall, a second from Councilwoman Goches. We'll take it to a vote. Councilwoman Manzione?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilman McCall?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I vote aye. That
Thank
passes
you.
5-0. Thanks, Michelle. Item 12 is our minutes from August 7th, 2024, the work meeting, and August 7th, 2024, the business meeting. Any changes to the meeting, to the minutes? Sorry, not to the meeting. Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, a motion from Councilwoman Goches and a second from Councilman McCall. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman McCall?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
I think I'll abstain since I wasn't here.
Okay. Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilwoman Manzione?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I vote aye. Passes 4-0. Item 13 is to adjourn at 7:35.